with your hosts, Andrew Romanella.
I legitimately watched the entire women's triathlon the other day. I gotta tell you, that was exhilarating stuff. But I was locked in because what's going on, everybody? Welcome into another edition of the Rome Show here on 12ouncesports.com. Broadcast live, Dingo TV channel 217. I am your host, Andrew Romanella. I am sorry for the slightly tardy start to the show this morning. We had some internet technical difficulties. I know you have all been there before with me. When you're dealing with a wireless internet situation, there's always a chance you're randomly just doing whatever you do, and all of a sudden, everything stops working. And that is what happened to me this morning right before the show started. And I'm in this the way I'm set up inside of my house is it almost feels like I'm hidden under a canopy of trees, which is like slightly into my backyard. And I think sometimes that affects my internet, that affects my cell phone service, and that affects my general use of technology, which unfortunately, in 2024, we all need to have the general use of all those technologies or we can't live. It's just like the way our world operates. So that was why we were late to class today. We tried to let our professor know once it happened so we could be excused from that lateness. But does not mean we're not going to have a great show for you today. We're breaking down the AFC North. We're breaking down the NFC North. We have football tonight on national television. It is the regular season opener. I know the people are excited. Yeah, it's exciting stuff. It's exciting. It's week one of the National Football League, kicked off by Ravens at Chiefs. We're going to break that down tonight. I'm super excited about that one. And to stay on the football theme, since it's its opening day, I finished Hard Knocks and I loved it. I think I mentioned this the other day, but there's a few things I'd like to say about it. And if you watched Hard Knocks, I'd love to know your thoughts, both on the off-season New York Giants Hard Knocks and then on the Chicago Bears preseason Hard Knocks. And then I just like everybody to know we got some daily bananas coming your way, which we do every single day. Okay, let's get into the AFC North. When it comes to breaking down teams, divisions in the National Football League. All right. I'm going to add a little music flair to this one today because I just feel like the music is good, and we're going to add that. All right, so we got the AFC North, all right? If you were wondering the four teams that exist in the AFC North, those four teams would be the Steelers, the Browns, the Bengals, and the Ravens. Okay, so I'll give you my picks for who I believe will win this conference, my predictions, and then I will let you know some information both about the betting favorites and then as well as the ESPN FPI, the Football Power Index. So essentially what ESPN's AI simulator believed would happen in the National Football League next season. So I'm going to go backwards to forwards. I have finishing in last place of this division, the Browns, and in third place, the Steelers, the Ravens, and then taking the cake for the AFC North this season, I have the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow's back. He is healthy. I don't know what's going to happen with Jamar Chase. That's just a fact. He participated in practice yesterday. Apparently, he had the uniform on. I don't know if he should be available for week one. Is he not? He pretty much missed all the training camp. But nonetheless, this Bengals team finished in last place in this division last year, okay? And so I think it's a bounce back year for the entire team. This is a team that went to the Super Bowl 3 years ago. They have that type of DNA. They have offensive weapons. They're fully loaded. They have a really good defense. So I'm going to take the Bengals to win this division. And then the Ravens, I think, will be in the postseason. I believe in the Ravens every single year. You have a great quarterback, great running back now with Derrick Henry. I think some really solid weapons around offensively. The only problem there is how does the 3 new offensive linemen fit into play with Lamar Jackson? The Steelers, I think I have them as I think that's been why they're not really much of a Super Bowl contender the last 10 to 12 years. In the mix every year, wild card, whatever, but they have Russell Wilson at quarterback, and if it ends up not being Russell Wilson, it's Justin Fields. So I'm not fully huge on either of those guys. They have a solid defense, which is always going to keep them there, and they're always going to find a way. Good coaching staff, always prepared. Those things matter in the National Football League, but I don't think they're going to do much more than finish in third. And I just don't believe in the Browns at all. I went on this rant, I guess you could call it, the other day regarding Deshaun Watson. You paid that man so much money. Okay, you paid Deshaun Watson so much money, and you have 4 quarterbacks rostered to start the season. That doesn't make any sense. If your quarterback is that good, okay, and you pay him that much money, that much guaranteed money, that would mean then you believe he's the quarterback to lead your franchise to the Super Bowl, okay? If that's not the case, then you gave the wrong money to the wrong guy. And that's what I think happened in Cleveland. Now, I don't know. Maybe they'll prove me wrong. He's still got a few more years left on that deal. But either way, Deshaun Watson is also injury prone. So even if he was having a great year, do I believe he's going to make it 17 games? So I have the Browns finishing in 4th. If you were wondering what the EFPN FPI had, they had the Bengals, then the Ravens, the Browns, and the Steelers. So they just flipped the Browns and the Steelers. The betting favorite for this division is the Ravens at plus 145. The second best betting favorite is the Cincinnati Bengals at plus 165. The third best betting favorite is the Browns at plus 450. And the fourth best betting favorite is the Steelers at plus 750. So Vegas believes that the Steelers are going to be the worst team into this division and the Ravens are going to be the best team. I understand that. There's a lot of question marks, I think, on each one of these teams, which is also why I think this could be one of the most interesting divisions in the National Football League. It is always one of the most interesting divisions in the National Football League. But when you look at the numbers, when you look at the teams stacked up this year, you think about Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson, and Deshaun Watson. That could be, on paper, name brand recognition wise, the 4 best quarterbacks in a conference in the National Football League. You have a good one in Tua Tagovailoa, Aaron Rodgers, and Josh Allen, but who's quarterbacking the New England Patriots? You thought you might have had it in other conferences, but this conference, for the most part, if you look at it, 4 quarterbacks that most teams, the Steelers even have 2 that most teams might take, based on the quarterback landscape in the National Football League. But I'm high on the Bengals, and looking at what Vegas is giving them at plus 6.5, plus 165 odds, that could shift dramatically. Like if they come out the gate hot, that's going to go down to minus quickly. So you're going to want to jump on that. I do think it's going to be a 2-way race between the Ravens and the Bengals. Do I think the Browns and the Steelers are going to be bad? Nope. But I think those 2 teams are the best. So that's the AFC North for the people. If you were wondering how it finished last year, the Ravens, the Browns, the Steelers, and the Bengals. You look at this conference, the Bengals were 9-8 and the Ravens were 13-4. That is how good depth-wise this conference is. I'd say the difference comes down to just looking at quick numbers on paper, how you play on the road in this conference. All right, let's move on to the NFC North. We're staying in the North. The North. All right. And my goal was to get both Thursday night football teams, conferences or divisions, done before Friday, because on Friday, then we'll finish with the East on both sides, NFC and AFC. And then we will have broken down every division in the National Football League. I'm keeping a log of this to see where my picks, as you've noticed, I'm very interested in where my, as Rocky calls it, water cooler knowledge of sports lands. And I actually think it's been pretty good, especially since that Daily Banana segment is currently 17 picks over 500, and that encompasses over 150 picks over the course of the last year. So that's not terrible. I mean, listen, that is, if I'm 78-61 right now in Major League Baseball, I'm either leading 4 of 6 divisions probably, or solidified in the number 1 wild card spot. I'll take that. I will take that. All right, let's put the music back on for our friends in the NFC North. I'm also realizing I'm doing this a little backwards, so I'm going to try it this way this time. Last season, the Detroit Lions won the NFC North, made it to the NFC Championship game. Awesome story. This is not a scenario where that was a fluke. I believe in this Detroit Lions team, okay? I believe in Goff. I believe in Dan Campbell. I believe in Amon-Ra St. Brown. I believe that their defense is going to continue to get better, led by Aiden Hutchinson at the front. This Lions team plays with grit. They're a tough team to play, and they have talent. And I think some of the experience of last year is really going to lead their charge moving into this season. The Packers finished in second, then the Vikings and the Bears. I don't think the Vikings have much to offer with Sam Darnold at the quarterback position since J.J. McCarthy got hurt. Caleb Williams is really intriguing in Chicago, and apparently Jordan Love is the next Tom Brady in the National Football League based on the way he's getting paid and the way he's being spoken about. I'm not going to sit here and say I don't believe Jordan Love could be that guy. I'm just going to sit here and say I'm not as much of a believer as others. Cool. I could be proven wrong. Good for the Packers if that's the case, but I still think the Lions are the best team in this division. So I'm going to take the Lions to finish in first, the Bears in second, the Packers in third, and the Vikings in fourth. There are some places where you can put your fruits down on choosing the order of the way things land. Very difficult, but big money propositions. If you are wondering why I am high on the Bears going from fourth to second, Hard Knocks made me believer. I don't know if that's good, I don't know if that's bad. I think that's the purpose of those shows, obviously, but it was less about watching the football play of Hard Knocks, to be honest with everybody, and it was more about Eberflus, the coaching staff, Ryan Poles, the GM, the way they handle their business. The type of player that I think Caleb Williams is as a person. Listen, I'm not in those rooms. I have no idea, but I got some type of insight on both the Giants side and the Chicago Bears side this year, and I like both. From the Hard Knock standpoint, from an organizational standpoint, from everything, and it's making me a believer in the Chicago Bears. I'm not saying they're going to go out here and win the Super Bowl, but I believe that they can have a significantly better season on the path, which would mean that the Packers finish in third. Why? I don't know. Who's Jordan Love throwing the football to? Right? Who's the weapons on that team? How good is that defense going to be? Do I believe in LaFleur? Because I don't know if he's really ever lived up to expectations. That's my feeling on the Packers, and I said it before. I mean, Sam Darnold is Sam Darnold. He's got to prove to me that he can actually not be the Sam Darnold we saw on the Panthers and the Jets. If you were wondering the betting odds for each team to win this division, the Lions are the favorites at plus 125. The second favorite is the Packers. That would be plus 210. I'm looking at my chicken scratch here, and it kind of looks like I wrote plus 340 for the Bears. Then I'm thinking, does that say 740? Either way, the Bears have the third highest odds, and it's probably plus 340. And then the Vikings at plus 850. I'll do a double check here for you on the odds for that would be the Bears, because I do believe that is an important number there, because if you have a quarterback that is good with the weapons that they have in Keenan Allen, they drafted Odunze. I'm drawing a blank on the dude they just signed. The other wide receivers, a DJ Moore, something like that. My point being is they have weapons there. So if Caleb Williams plus 340. So if Caleb Williams is the quarterback he should be that they drafted, there's no reason why the Bears can't have a significantly better season, having won like 6 or 7 games last year. And again, I believe in the coach. I believe in the organization, the way that they're doing things. Now, Hard Knocks can show me what they want me to see. But you can still feel and get an idea for human beings and good human beings and human beings that are going to make this team great or make these men better. And I just feel like I saw a lot of that, a lot of love in the locker room. And I've watched every single Hard Knocks ever produced. And for some reason, this one felt better or different. Or, hey, maybe this is the team that breaks that curse of if you're on Hard Knocks, you ain't making the playoffs. So at the Rome Show 1, Instagram, X, Twitter, whatever you call it, Facebook, TikTok, talk to us. You can comment live on the show now. I got a little comment section up here in the right-hand side. We are cooking here on the Rome Show. It is Thursday, September 5th, opening day, National Football League. We are going to take a quick commercial break. We are going to bounce back with that day number 1 game, a daily data, and your daily banana. So much to do here on the Rome Show, 12ouncesports.com, Dingo TV, channel 217.
Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got them with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them.
Yeah.
Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right. At 12 Ounce Sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money. And we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
Yeah, it's the Rome Show here, 12ouncesports.com, Dingo TV, channel 217. Being electric. That's right, be electric. Every day, ladies and gentlemen. Andrew Romanella here with you for another, 7, 8, maybe 9 minutes. I mean, we started a little late here because the internet difficulties, so we want to give you all the things we want to give you. All right, here's the information about tonight's game. It is the Ravens. It is the Chiefs. It is Thursday night football. It is the kickoff of the 2024 NFL season. Obviously, the Chiefs won the Super Bowl last year. So they're a really good team. And they've won 3 Super Bowls, I think, in like the last 10 years. So they're a really, really good team. And it's one of those things where it's the first game of the NFL season. And I'm not going to go on a soapbox here about the preseason and how it's a waste of time and how you need to play more games or don't even have preseason or these guys need to play. I don't even want to hear it. Okay. I don't care. At the end of the day, over the history of time, most likely, it has taken about a month, 5 weeks, whatever, for football teams to get on the same page, right? Some teams are more talented than others, so they can overcome that, you know? So a team like the Chiefs, which we've seen them not overcome early, but my point is, certain teams can overcome it. So they might be 3-2, 4-1 after 5 weeks of not really playing their best ball. Then you look up in week 15 and that team is 12-3 or 12-4, 2 because they had a bye week. So the first month is a crapshoot. The first game, even more of a crapshoot. How many times have we seen teams lose a game or two and then all of a sudden, bam, best team in the National Football League. Top 3 team like we thought they would be, in the postseason like we thought they would be. So in game number 1, I try and avoid going after lines and over-unders because I just don't know. I really just don't know. On the game, that is. I go to player props when it comes to day number 1. I don't know why, whether that's a good thought system or not. I have no idea, but that's my checks and balances, and that's what I like to do. All right. Right now, they have the Chiefs as 3-point favorites. They are at home, so essentially they're giving Chiefs home field advantage. The line here for points is 46.5. All right. I don't really know, to be honest with you. I'm going to take the Chiefs in this game, but I could definitely see the Ravens, Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry. I do think they're going to try and establish the run game. I mentioned it earlier about the Ravens and their offensive line, just getting in a cohesive unit. You got 2 running backs back there, right? You have 2 dudes that can run the football, but you also have a 2-time MVP that wants time to throw to 3 or 4 guys on the outside and a great tight end in Mark Andrews. So if you're Baltimore, you want to establish the line of scrimmage, and you want to establish, more importantly, your peace of mind of knowing this can be a good step in the right direction for this offensive line, for this offense in general, and we can really be a great team. And I think with organizations, with history, comes belief, right? And so there's a belief that the Ravens are always going to have a great defense, but there's also stats on paper to prove that as well over the course of time. JB Beck writes in, you already considered Deshaun Watson a bust, or is this the defining year for the Browns? Well, JB, I'm not saying that Deshaun Watson's a bust. I'm saying I don't believe in the Browns because Deshaun Watson has not proven enough to me yet. And on top of that, how can I believe in Deshaun Watson if his own organization is willing to waste 3 total roster spots on the quarterback position after the guy that they gave all that money to? How can I believe in him from the outside looking in if the people on the inside are like, we don't believe in this guy enough. We need 3 of those dudes in the room after him just in case. That is really where it comes down to. So no, I'm not calling him a bust. I don't know if you can be a bust if you're Deshaun Watson. Like, you were actually really good. You're still probably a top 16 quarterback in the league when you're healthy. You're just a weirdo. I don't want to go into that situation that he got into off the field, which is why he is a Brown now. But bottom line is, the team is making decisions to tell me, the onlooker, that they don't believe in that quarterback. So I don't know if I'm going to have a lot of belief in that quarterback, or more importantly, that team to compete in a division where you have Joe Burrow. Despite what you might think about Russell Wilson, he still won a Super Bowl and been to 2, and like is a 10-time All-Pro. It's not like he's a throwaway. Justin Fields, I mean, not spectacular, but has helped the Bears win more games each of the last 3 years, runs for a lot of yards, okay passer. You got to deal with him. And then Lamar Jackson, 2-time MVP. So between Burrow, Jackson, and the 2-headed monster in Pittsburgh, you need some solid quarterback play in Cleveland if you want to compete at all in the realm of possibility in this division, let alone the National Football League. Thanks for the Right in the Rome Show. All the social medias, or you can get us on the YouTube page live. And I can see that right here on the screen, which is elite level stuff. So give me the Chiefs tonight. I think it's going to be a squeak out. I'm going to take the under in the points. If you want me to say anything about it, I will. That's not official on my Daily Bananas. That's just me breaking down the game. I think there needs to be an establishment between Patrick Mahomes and his receivers. I think that offense needs to get in sync earlier in the year this year, something they didn't do last year. Again, they still won the Super Bowl. So, like, at the end of the day, who really cares? But if you want some type of analysis, it didn't look good offensively the first half of the year last year. More of a down year for Travis Kelce last year, too. Who's the primary wide receiver? Is it Worthy? Is it Rice? I got you right here to finish up the show. But really quickly, I just wanted to give you a quick daily data. Right now, there are 15 full-time women in the National Football League as coaches. So kudos to the teams pushing the line in the National Football League, that it does not really matter what your sex, your race, or in sometimes your background of playing the sport is. I say this all the time. If you're a great coach and you can coach and you understand how to comprehend the X's and O's of a sport, the ins and outs, the simple ins and outs, you can coach any sport. Doesn't mean you can be a head coach in the National Football League if you only played badminton your entire life. I'm just saying, if you have that intuition, that instinct, that mind can transfer from sport to sport, whether you played the sport or not. So I thought that was really cool. Daily Bananas time for the people. Yesterday, we were 1-2. The Braves won for us money line over the Rockies. The Guardians did not. Kansas City snapped their losing streak, and Aaron Judge did not get a hit. I know. What? I know. And not a homer, so 8 straight games for him there. So 1-2 nights, 78-61, as I referenced that earlier in the show. We are going football-baseball combo today. I'm taking Lamar Jackson, 21.5 pass / combined rush yards. So you combine the passing yards, combine the rushing yards, it's over 271.5 for Lamar Jackson. I'm going to take Derrick Henry at over 15.5 rush attempts. Okay, so I'm really starting to believe, I really do believe in this two-headed monster for the Ravens. And then I'm going to take the Astros on the money line to win their baseball game tonight. And then I'm going to take Travis Kelce over 58.5 receiving yards. So we're going heavy tonight. Heavy. Lamar, 271.5 passing plus rushing. Derrick Henry over 15.5 rush attempts. Travis Kelce, 58.5 receiving yards over. And the Stros money line. That's how we're going to do it to finish the show here on 12ouncesports.com. I'm Andrew Romanella. I appreciate you for joining. We'll see you tomorrow. Remember, be electric, RomeShowShop.com, 12ouncesports.com, Dingo TV, channel 217. Peace!
Thank you for listening.